Howdy, folks. Today we're playing Blue-White Control in Aetherdrift Standard. The impetus for this build was I've seen a lot of this style of deck, this Blue-White Control deck, on the ladder as I've been playing and recording. I've seen this deck pop up, and I looked, I looked online to see if I could find the build of the day, and that's basically what we're playing here. And I want to see how everyone else is attacking the metagame with Blue-White Control, so that way when I play against it with other decks, I can kind of know what I'm looking for. So this is sort of the flavor of Blue-White Control of the day. It has Jace the Perfected Mind as your win condition, along with ways to stabilize in Day of Judgment, Temporary Lockdown, Sunfall, Beza, and then Ride's End, Get Lost are your strong removal spells. Change the Equation is a very anti-red slant. It's also useful for green, where you can counter overlords with it. Some decks are playing Nissa, I've seen, so it's good for that. Negate, classic, counterspell, gives you game against some of these longer matchups, where typically maybe you wouldn't be able to counter a big boom boom from your opponent. Normalize, very just amazing card here. People are trying to play things on curves. You can stop them doing that here. And then the mana base, you have a couple of Restless Anchorages to get in, and then your other utility lands, Blast Zone, Demolition Field, Fountain Port. Very interesting build of the deck. Kind of centered around one card we haven't talked about yet, Stock Up, which is the draw spell of choice. If you're playing Blue-White Control, you need some sort of card advantage engine, or else you're going to lose to all the other decks that don't have this card advantage. So you have card advantage inherently built into Temporary Lockdown, Day of Judgment, Sunfall. We're getting 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s, 4-for-1s. But Stock Up's a way to look at the top 5, put 2 of the best cards in there, and put them on your bottom of the library. The downside of the Stock Up is it is sorcery speed, so it sort of makes your deck, you want to build your deck in a more wrath heavy style where you're tapping out and reacting to your opponent on your turn more, less of this counterspell style, which you can see is kind of been what is going on. So Stock Up, interesting card. I have not actually played with this card yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing how well it does. But yeah, this is sort of the stock Blue-White Control I'm seeing run around. Let's see how it does on the ladder. Alrighty, opponent is going first. If this is mono red, we do have the Temporary Lockdown. We have a Get Lost on turn 2. Let's try it out. Dark Slick Shores. This could be the Pixieless Pixie deck. Dimir, Collector's Vault. Draw a card, discard a card. So probably some sort of Reanimator deck. If you're feeling that hard into drawing and discarding. Memoria Vault. Monument to Endurance. Yeah, I think, okay, this is a Monument Cycle sort of deck. Had to get rid of that one. I think, yeah, we'll just take this opportunity to get rid of this Collector's Vault as well. We can play this island to turn on our Flood Farm Urges. Jace the Perfected Mind. Okay, so this is the mill deck. Okay. Opponent coming to mill us.
No secret escapes my grasp.
Play Beza here. Would draw us a card. Yeah. Beza, 4 mana, 4/5, draw a card. I think it's good enough here. Don't think these Wraths are doing much. I think we already got value of the Temporary Lockdown. Opponents should have some removal for the Beza, I would imagine. They could do that too.
Organic minds.
They do have a Monument to Endurance. This means we get to get in with this Restless Anchorage at the Jace. Map token. Play the Archive. Looking for lands. Seachrome Coast. That fits the bill. Sure thing. See if they can discard it, start triggering this Monument to Endurance. That was part of the whole point of this Collector's Vault, to be able to get a free discard. Jace, okay. Another Jace. They're gonna just mill me since they know we can attack now. Okay, they are, okay. Gonna mill me.
Your entire
They milled our our plan here. Seachrome Coast. Okay, that's Anchorage. Basic can go to the graveyard. Back here. Opponent down to 10. Need to put our opponent under the gun because they're going to be able to mill us out here soon, I think. See if they have another Jace. Looking at their graveyard. Reanimate Jace. Deadly cover up. Okay. That's fine. We have this Anchorage still to do damage. I'd love to be hitting land drops, though. They could take our Jaces. It really just depends on what they're scared of. Take our Anchorages. Okay, looks like they've exiled Jace. And they're pretty worried about us milling them out. It's Anchorage. Let's map. Plains is good. Let's swing in there. Just map token the Anchorage. Keep negate. Negate's pretty good. See if our opponent has a way to combat what we have rolling here. Primori Vault. Discards Spell Pierce. Okay. I think they're going to draw a card off the Monument. Like Verge. Okay, let's try the Restless Anchorage. Let's get in there. Okay, going down to 3. Go ahead and pass. We'll find a discard here. Sunfall not doing much. Okay, so this can't resolve. Otherwise we lose. So we have to negate this, but I think they're going to counter back, and then I think we're going to lose anyway. Or they're going to play a second one and exhaust it, since we have just enough cards in the graveyard. Okay, maybe not. Alright, hopefully this is enough. We'll see. Let's get in there. What do they have for us here? Bitter Triumph discards. Draws. For target creature, planeswalker. And not much we can do here. Get a map. I think we're gonna stock up. Can't prevent them from doing anything really. Guess we'll take Ride's End. I'm just gonna discard. They did find an artifact, which means it's probably a River Turn Monument, because they don't have a lot of other ones, or it could have been a Monument to Endurance. Either way, opponent has to be pretty happy with where they're at. We have a Hornlock Will. I think this can be our whole plan, is to Hornlock Will. Attack. Take this archive down. Planes. I don't think we need planes. Alright. This couple of Jaces really put a pressure on our library. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we can do anything about that. I think that's the card we have to ultimately ignore. Alright. Hornlock Whale time. 3 steps ahead, draw 2, discard. Okay. They're gonna draw a card. Yep, opponent is grinding through us. Warlord's pretty good though. Good way to present multiple attackers. Now we have maps to make any single one of these lethal. They have a lot of ways to beat us here though. A Jace will beat us. River Turn Monument will beat us. Okay, Terizian Mindbreaker does not just beat us straight up though. And they discarded a card and probably drew one off that. It wasn't yet. Okay. Another Jace. They must not have. Just gonna draw a card looking for the Jace. Boomlake Verge. Do they have any removal spell? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if both of these maps hit, then we have 2 lethal threats. Our opponent digs here, they really know they're in deep trouble. Wow, opponent really deep in the trouble to tank. Oh, they made a treasure, makes sense. So they can get a Jace, not enough though, because they'd already played their land, so it can't be Jace. Couldn't get a Jace with that anyway. And yeah, GG's. Wow, very, very close game there. Just barely snuck out ahead, just identified what our opponent was trying to do early enough. Took this lockdown, countered their first Monument to Endurance, and turned up the heat with the Restless Anchorage to pressure their life total enough where we could manufacture a win with this Overlord, and as well as having this Hornlock Whale tap them out. So sweet. GG's. Alrighty, we are going first. His hand has 3 lands, negates. Not a great hand into aggro, but we are on the play, and that might be a saving grace. What's Nightmare? Okay. I think we could discard one of the Wraths. The question is, we're going on the assumption this is a Pixie deck. Sunfall is pretty good there with the Exile, but I think the timing of this Wrath might matter more. Wrath, of course, if you haven't heard, meaning, you know, any card that wipes the board. I've had a comment like that in my comments before. Okay, Meticulous Evacuation, return target permanent you control to its own hand. I think that's a repeatable blink effect. I think we're gonna just exile that. Not the cleanest use of negate I've ever seen, but gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. This next turn we can get our Mistmoors going. Pixie can pick up the Hopeless Nightmare. Replay it. Rest in peace. Interesting. Basic here draws a card, gains life, and makes it. Does not make a face. Just draws a card and gains life. I think that's good enough here. Gives us some board presence. Gives us a land. Not sure what we discard if we play this Nightmare. I think the Ride sends. I think just having the Wrath would be pretty good. Surely that's coming. Yeah, I think we get rid of this Ride's End. Ditch that. Opponent attacks for 2, sure thing. Do you have anything else? Rest in peace. Very interesting piece in this deck. They have removal spells for the beast? Okay, they do. There's some life to do it though. Stock up. I feel like we want to use this stock up when we want to better know what we're looking for. We're not under super pressure from this Nurturing Pixie. So we could attack with a Reckless Anchorage here. If that's a cut down, gives them a cut down target. Does this deck play cut down? I feel like they don't. I feel like they play the onboard removal spells. So let's get in there. Get them mad. We can't get any value here. Last one, sure thing. Okay, they're gonna sacrifice this to Scry. Oh, but it gets exiled, so it doesn't scry, because when it's put in the graveyard from the battlefield, the effects to replace now gets put into the graveyard from the battlefield. Okay, this means I think they could have removal spell up for my anchorage. I still really don't know what we're looking for with the stock up, but I don't think we're going to spend this mana to use the blast zone at all. So I think we might as well just stock up here. Fountain Port is pretty good utility land. And getting a big whale into play is probably pretty good. Getting Mistmore's next turn. Yeah, opponent concedes. Yeah, we played a pretty patient game plan there. Got paid off, and that's one thing that's nice about blue-white control is that it is good into these black-white style decks. They're not really designed to beat us. I mean, you can see Rest in Peace in the deck. It's not really, we're not the main target for that. So definitely they're geared to beat someone else. So it could be a good reason to play a deck like this. So GG's. Alrighty, we're going first. Have this Restless Anchorage and some interaction. I think we'll keep this. Restless Anchorage gives us a good amount of both colors of mana. You really just need a couple dual lands to feel pretty good about where you're at. This deck, Fountain Port gives you a good sense of security for the long term. You can make fish. Gives you a lot of options. Okay, so mono red Heartfire hero. We have this Get Lost. If they try to pump it. Let's see. If they just play a creature here, I think I'm going to normalize it, like if they play a Ember Heart. Sure thing, take the damage there. Yep, counter that. Exiling it, it's always nice, of course. It's good Jace. Yeah, I do like Jace here, I think. I plus it gets -3, -0. So they'd have to make it, and it would have, I'd have 4 loyalty. If they shoot all Jace, that's fine anyway. Yeah, let's just plus here. Give our opponent a pretty hard time to attack us. Gives us the opportunity to just top deck a white source for Day of Judgment if they play a. Just play another creature here to attack the Jace. Yep, Manifold Mouse, sure thing. Manifold Mouse and Might of the Meek. Okay. Gets you to 0 power. What are you gonna give? Trample or Double Strike? Is it Trample? Are you gonna swing in? Send the message? You are. Okay. Mouth's coming in. Temporary Lockdown. Would be ideal to be able to lock that down or try to draw a card with the Jace to get an untapped white to lock it down, but I think we just need to be patient here. I think there's no need to rush. We have this Hornlock Whale to not take damage from the Heartfire hero. Okay, I think they're fine to cycle the Might of the Meek there. Ember Challenger, sure. See see what it reveals. Boros Charm. Yeah, I think it's as good as time as any to actually physically eliminate a creature. Opponent can hit the Jace for 3 if they so choose, or just go straight to me, sure thing. Coming at Jace or coming at me? Coming at Jace, okay. Jace gains 2 life there for us. Okay, Beza definitely stuck on lands here. Yeah, we'll hit the Manifold Mouse here.
Become subdued.
It's pretty telling, I think, that we're going to use some sort of removal spell here. Okay, yep. Enabled pretty good. They're going to map this Heartfire hero. This does give haste as well. Could make a fish. Depending on what our opponent does. Could just make a fish and block. Okay, yep, that's fine. Screaming Nemesis, yikes. Okay, I feel like you have to do that double strike. Where's it coming? Us or Jace? No trample. Can't quite make a fish. Okay, so definitely just bouncing this. Man, we cannot hit a land here. So this is another mouse. Target mouse. Okay, it's any mouse. Man, yeah, I think we're at the point where we have to mill this Heartfire here off our opponent's deck and try to draw a land. Get this Screaming Nemesis down too. Great draw, phenomenal draw there. And do we want Day of Judgment here? I think so. Now, if our opponent plays a creature, they can give it haste with a Crag Flame, but if it's a 1 or 2 mana creature, temporary lockdown is good. But if it's a 3 mana creature, then they can't really equip the Crag Flame. Puts them in the bind there. We just barely found the land we needed with the Jace. Took a while, but stumbled and beat Mono Red. That is kind of hard to do. GG's. Alrighty, opponent's going first, and we don't have anything to do before turn 3. We have great catch-up mechanisms once we're there. This Jace. I still think that's too slow for standard. This is a better hand. Put this land at the bottom. We have negate or get lost. Opponents swamping it up. See what they're up to. See if it's just a black deck, mono black, or if they got other stuff up their sleeve, other color of mana. Swamp Stumble. 2 beautiful swamps like that does not make me think they have other cards, or other mana types rather. Swamp. Karakvek, the Punisher. Karakvek, when you commit a crime, exile the 1 target black card from graveyard and copy it. Okay. We'll let that go for now, because ideally we just get a Day of Judgment in there to wipe this and another black creature off the battlefield. Sheltered, sure thing. Yeah, no, that's happy to get both those off the battlefield with the Day of Judgment. So just mono black mid-range, seemingly. Another sheltered, sure thing. Draw. I think we do want to use the Get Lost so we can keep up a normal lives here. Go to temporary lockdown to get rid of those map tokens if we want to later. Yeah, get rid of this. One locked whale. How long are these map tokens? I don't really think they matter at all. Yeah. Let's pass. The thing is, I don't know if the temporary lockdown is getting any better, but it's possible. Liliana the Veil. Yeah. Probably worth our negates. Haven't seen a whole lot. I haven't seen really anything else that would constitute a negate. Everything else has been creature based. Second Liliana, okay. We're gonna get rid of their last card. Okay, can get rid of our lockdown. Another Liliana, wow. We're gonna pass here, give her this Day of Judgment, and then plan to Hornlocked Whale. Horned Lock Whale, this Liliana. See if they want to tick up or not, though. Kip, they do. Day of Judgment gone. This is one of the great reasons Hornlock Whale's in the deck. Nice flash threat. We'll destroy our opponent's Liliana, keep us with a 6/6. Normalize is decent against some things. Not the best draw though. I can see Liliana. Okay, top deck battle. Opponent has some great top decks here. See if they can find one. Pilfer. Might as well cast it. I don't think it matters either way. If they don't pay, maybe it gets exiled and that matters, but they'll pay. Okay. Jace. It's a good draw.
I'll take note of all your failures.
So we can... put them in 19 here. Or we can just draw a card. It's hard to figure out what to do. I think we were just going to draw a card. Just trying to figure out if it was worth milling them there or what. But I think just drawing a card would have been our best course of action. And another win for this deck. Kind of on a heater. GG's. Alrighty, we're going first. 2 lands is not where we want to be. I think we have to mulligan this. It's a much better hand. What do we want to put back? This change of the equation is so much better on the play. So I don't want to put that back. Not having any removals can be bad, but I think we're going to put this Ride's End back. And hope to counter things enough to get rolling here. Storm Chaser's Talent, sure. They got under our spells here, which is not ideal. Okay, let's see what they got rolling here. Fear of Isolation. Do you want to get rid of that 2/3? I think so. Let's just get this Jace down with minimal pressure. Opponent can go a little hog wild next turn, but we'll like with a Storm Chaser Talent plus, but I think our path to winning a game here is drawing a Wrath and countering things until they get there. Did they ever move a spell for the Jace? I'd be a little surprised if they did. Probably just play Storm Chaser's Talent, get another Otter. Stock up. Stock up's a good draw. Let's start with that. Want some, like a land and a Wrath would be ideal, I think. Land, Day of Judgment. Could have a counter here. Gonna bounce our Jace, okay. Temporary lockdown is pretty good. Oh, Fountain Port. Yeah, Fountain Port does a lot. Let's take a Fountain Port with it. Now if we draw a land, we can lockdown plus keep negate or something up. Siren, sure thing. Talent, yep. Blast Zone does mean we can keep up a negate for this with this lockdown. Okay, getting rid of all these tokens is pretty nice. Alright, that was successful. And we also have this blast zone for these things on 1. So, not bad. We can also play Jace with negate backup next turn. Fine. Yeah, go for it. Sounding big enough, do it. Another blast zone, wow. Man. Yeah, let's get the Jace down, keeping the gate up.
Emotions are distractions.
Tap,
Focus
here, you know,
on the fact.
get this otter to start struggling. I'll definitely negate here. Can't get their Storm Chaser talent up. Picking up path, okay. What do we want to do? Could just take up the Jace again and start fountain pointing. I think that's fair. I think we can do that. Let our fountain board start doing things.
Organic minds are easily quelled.
See if they want to get our lockdown or not here. With this town ain't big enough. Okay, so it bounces their storm. I think because it lets them have the loop, I think we want to negate this. Yeah. Put them on a spell pierce here. They might fight back with. It'd be weird for them to have exactly another negate. Yeah, I think there's a spell pierce over there. They definitely thought about putting permission on the stack. Could even be 2 spell pierces. Yeah, another talent. That's fine. Go for it. Could do this to kill the talent right now. Is it worth it? No, I think we're just gonna make a fish. Fish seems better right now. Let's do this. Another lockdown's good.
Our plans
Just
are
let
beyond
that pass. Siren, sure thing. They still have enough mana for the Storm Chaser's talents. Not anymore. Gloomlike Verge, okay. Let's go ahead and sacrifice this fish to draw a card. Get our lockdown. Go to my turn. Verge. We could just Day of Judgment. Yeah, let's mill, draw a card, and Day of Judgment. See what we hit from their library.
I know
Ooh,
where
there's
to
another this
find
town.
all the answers.
Let's mill, or do Blossom, blue, or white, blue. Good enough here. Day of Judgment. Might use their Spell Pierce. Guidance against it, okay. Pretty confident they do have a Spell Pierce. And they have 2 this towns down here. Yep, opponent decides that they don't want to play this game of Magic anymore. GG's, let's hit the wrap up. Alrighty, and we're back with a wrap up here for Blue White Control. Again, this is the build that people have been playing. I do think this is a well-built deck to attack the current best of 1 meta. You're not going to win 85-90% of your games. You're not going to win your games fast, so it's not the best game for or deck rather for grinding ladder, but it is good to to slowly, play games here, play games there, slowly get up the ladder, while enjoying a more control style deck. If that's what you enjoy, you're gonna max have it like a 60% win rate. I'd say you're still, there are perfect hands from all decks that will beat you. The perfect mono red hand will beat you. You can lose before you cast your temporary lockdown turn 3. Didn't happen in this game. We got pretty lucky. I think we didn't even lose a game in this video, as far as I can remember. And despite that, I think the deck is gonna have varied results in your hands. Your opponents might play better, play different decks. Now that this deck is getting more and more established in the meta, they might play cards that are better against this deck. You might see more duresses, for instance. So I'd watch out for all that. But yeah, I think it was good to play this deck, see where the control mages are trying to attack the meta from. It's a lot of temporary lockdown. It's a lot of Beza, Day of Judgment, and then for quick interaction. So I think it's good to think about what the blue-white control decks of the format are doing. So you have a plan against them, and I think a plan against this deck could involve creature lands, for instance. Like if you had a Mirrex, that'd be, I think, kind of something hard for this deck to get after eventually into the super late game. So if you had Demolition Fields and Mirrexes to get rid of their, our Fountain Ports, and then get around our Wraths and some of our spot removal, I think it could be pretty good. But you'd also need a way to not die to the Jaces. So I think you have to kind of balance that sort of super long game, grind them out with a Mirrex plan with something that can, maybe deadly cover up all the Jaces out of my deck, or duress them, or counter them, or so on and so forth, or pressure me fast enough where I just never have the time to get them down. So there are definitely different ways to attack this deck. So it's cool to see, though, that there is a viable blue-white control deck in the meta, and I think it looks pretty close to this. So this is in the stock deck people have been running. Super flexible. If you play a lot more green and are losing to more green, you can, or red, you can add some more, change the equations, add another temporary lockdown, add Beza, go down and stuff, I'll go up Day of Judgment, ride Zen, change that out into some other removal spell, like Elspeth Smite, that's a little bit faster. You have options if you get attacked more on the faster end, and the really cool things about blue-white control, and really a 3-year standard format before rotation, is that you're going to have options in these blue-white controls deck, which makes the playing field more fair. So pretty cool stuff. I enjoy playing this deck. Hopefully you guys will enjoy playing this, and if you don't, for someone who doesn't like control, hopefully you watch this video and now you have new ways to attack this deck in your own deck building. So hope you guys appreciated the video, and until next time, wherever you are, whenever you are, have a magical day.